Hello, friends, family, future Annika. Oh my goodness, today was crazy. Not sure where to begin, and I don't want to make this a super long one because I did some little mini videos throughout the day that I was going to put on here, and I don't want to make the video too long. Don't want you guys to get bored and have videos that are too long. So there is that. I walked my longest distance today compared ever since I got to Paris. I've ranged from 8 miles up to 10 most days. Today was 11 and a half. I went into parts of the city that I did not plan on going into. Just happened to decide that there was a spot I wanted to see, and so I went for it. So I went in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 14th, 15th, 16, and 18 arrondissement. Some of those that have names like Montparnasse, the Montmartre, the Marais, and I even went outside of the very central part of Paris to a far west kind of suburb to go to a park, and that ended up being a debacle. So I have a video talking about the fun people that I met over there in that park, so you'll see that at the end of this. It was a really good day. I went to the highest point in Paris, which is the, I'm going to say this wrong. It's the Basilica at Sacré-Cœur, I think is what it's called. I climbed up to the top of the dome, so that was 292 steps. In addition to my 11.44 miles that I walked, I also climbed 57 flights of stairs between this insane subway station that had circular staircases that went on forever, and then climbing to the dome of the church. Just had a really great experience at the church, just really felt connected to God. Lit a candle for my brother in this beautiful place and just was able to pray for a while. I just didn't want to leave. I felt very connected, very at peace. It was a church where they required silence, which most people weren't, well, a lot of people weren't paying attention to, so you could kind of hear rumblings, but for the most part, it was the quietest church that I've been in since I've been in Europe. And that includes when I was in Munich a couple months ago. I started the day in Luxembourg Gardens and tried to journal. I'll talk more about that later. Didn't go swimmingly. I never expected it to go swimmingly because I'm resistant to it, but I'm going to keep trying. Then I fell asleep in my chair next to the fountain at the Luxembourg Gardens, so I must have been tired and pretty relaxed. It was nice and warm, there was a breeze, so that was lovely. And then I just wandered the city. I walked for an hour and a half straight at one point to get from one park to the next. Just decided I'd rather see parts of the city I hadn't seen, so I decided to walk. And then a couple times I ended up taking the subway just because my feet were getting tired or I needed a break. It was a good day, a good last day in Paris. I'm sad to leave. I'm just now figuring things out as far as where everything is, how to navigate the subways without having to use Google every 2 seconds. But you know, that's what's going to happen in this trip. I'm going to be in a city for 3, 4, 5, 6 days, get acclimated, and then I'll be on to the next one. So I guess this is just me needing to get used to this first go around. But Paris is amazing. It's everything and more than people say it is. It has a vibe about it, an energy, people, cultures. It's hard to put into words. It really is just something you kind of have to see. I feel blessed having grown up traveling as a kid for being a military brat, and also having a mom from Sweden and having had the opportunity to be in Sweden with my family as I grew up. I think it gave me a perspective. At the time, I didn't appreciate a lot of the culture as much as you do because I was a kid and kids don't really take that into consideration, but I think it did shape me to being kind of, I love being around different types of people. So this is a melting pot, if ever there was one, of a city between the tourists and the locals. I went to a restaurant last night, and it was a fondue French restaurant run by all Greek people. So it's interesting, and they had been here for years. The main guy that I talked to has lived in Paris for 35 years. So it's a unique place. I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to have an incredible experience. It's a little pricey. I would definitely say, especially after today, running all about the city, I think where I chose to stay for my home base is absolutely the best place, and that is the Latin Quarter in the 5th. So that's where I'm at. I have my train to Annecy in the eastern part of France tomorrow at 9:45. So I'll be getting up in the morning and heading to the train station. It's a 3-hour and 45-minute train ride. So tonight I need to do laundry and pack. And that's what's going on in my really exciting life. Clearly I'm not having as much fun as all the people down there are having. But it's okay, I've had all my Paris fun that I need. Good morning, afternoon. I'm not sure how to describe this, but it's amazing. It's like pizza meets hot dog meets Subway Asiago cheese bread. Really yummy. I just woke up from a nap. Fell asleep, sitting in the gardens, and I think I got a sunburn on my chest. So, anyways, I guess I was a little tired. This place goes on for miles. There's people running, old ladies doing Tai Chi, kids eating lunch and playing Uno. So fun. I love it here. This garden is just beautiful. It's like the only place in this massive park where you're allowed to sit on the grass. Well, hello. I might get these pronunciations wrong, so I apologize in advance. I was just hanging out in the Luxembourg Gardens, which is in the 14th arrondissement, called Montparnasse, I think. And I decided I'm going to check out a few other parks and beautiful places. And the biggest one is over past the Eiffel Tower, way the fuzz west of here, an hour and a half walk. So I'm just gonna walk. If I get tired, I can always hop on the metro, but it's a really beautiful day outside, and I thought I'd just try to walk it, and we'll see what happens. But for now, I am strolling for 1.4 kilometers down the same road in the general direction of where I'm trying to go. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I didn't put my headphones in, so I will keep you updated. About a third of the way, 30 minutes with a little less than an hour to go because I walk faster than what the GPS says. I just feel like if I took the train or even rented a bike, just too fast, I'd miss things. Like this beautiful street, these beautiful trees. I'm passing by some sort of UNESCO museum. Kind of cool, but not cool enough to intrigue me to want to go in. I'm going to keep going to my park that I'm heading towards. I should be passing the Eiffel here in a little bit. So just keep on plugging away. Okay, so I walked the whole way, an hour and a half, but look at how pretty. I found a lake and this giant park, and now I am walking in the park towards something called a hippodrome, because that just sounds like a cool thing to go see. So I'm just gonna keep on walking, have my last day in Paris be seeing some beautiful nature as opposed to man-made things. Swan parents with 4 swan babies. Okay, so my adventure to this other large park, kind of a weird one. The lake was really pretty and there were normal people all around there. And I kept walking to go to the hippo place. Not hippos, hippo, I think it's a bike thing or something. Anyways, it was closed and there's construction everywhere. Happened upon a parking lot full of cars, and when I went to investigate what would draw so many people to that particular remote area, I found a whole bunch of old men playing some sort of game with small, they made weird like metal sound noises when they hit each other, so I don't know what game they're playing. Then this nice little old man who barely spoke any English came up and started speaking to me very fast in French and telling me about the game. Didn't understand any of it. Talking to me about how he likes to ride horses, and then he was doing like horse movement, I don't know how to explain it to you, to try to help me understand what he was saying. By the end of it, I told him I was off to go walk to the metro station, and the only part of the whole thing that I understood very well was then him offering for me to go with him in the car and he would take me to the metro station. So, needless to say, I left the large group of people, continued to try to surround myself with lots of people, and now I am walking to the metro station to take the train because I'm tired after 2.5 hours of walking around this city. So that's my funny story of my adventure and the creepy old man. 9 miles so far today. I just climbed up from the subway station from hell with a million flights of random stairs. And now this. I'm tired. And there's another one. So many stairs. And I made it. It's just so